Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Happy Thursday. Club going up on a Thursday. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. I apologize for the lack of videos this week. We've been uploading basically the same amount. We're just missing one. Normally there is the running back video comes out today. But I've just been really busy, so it's coming out tomorrow instead. So I do apologize to anyone that looks forward to those type of things. But I figured I would get on the live today. I'm just answering a couple of questions on Patreon as well. Okay, hit that like button. Facts. What's up? What's up? What's up? Javante breakout game tonight. I mean, you would think, but probably not. Probably not. Gino or Kyler? I would go Gino. It was all a dream. What's up, Nick? What's up, Brian? James Conner, B-Rob, or Jordan Mason, pick two. I'm going Mason and Connor. No, I'm going Mason and B-Rob. I'm so mad at Dak. I had everything in my way last week. I lost by 3 points. Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, who would have thought that that was going to happen? Look, I get there was always a realm of scenario, right, where the Cowboys play that game and they get fucking trounced, right? But if they lose that game, was anyone projecting them to lose by that much? Like, did anyone think that they would get how much did they lose by? Like 35, 40? I don't remember the exact score off the top of my head. It was bad though. The Cowboys only had 9 points. So that was a really, really, really bad showing. So I think better weeks are ahead for Dak. Personally, though, I starting to really, really panic about the Cowboys. Yeah, make sure you guys join the Discord. Shout out to Spock, my man. How are you doing? JSN or BTJ? I would go with JSN. Derrick Henry for CeeDee Lamb. Depends how deep your running back room is. If you're really deep at running back, sure. But even so, I don't think I would do that. Like, while I think the Cowboys are bound for a bounce back, like, the Cowboys don't look great. CeeDee Lamb's involvement in this offense in the second half of games is downright terrible. I said it last week. Prior to last week's game, the guy I think had 4 targets in the second half of games. 4 on the whole season, not just in one game. In the whole, it was either 4 or 5. It was some ridiculous stat. So to be honest with you, I'd rather just have Henry. Need a flex with a 10-team Montgomery, Connor, or Evans to play on Monday. That's one of those where you're probably going to get it wrong basically every single time. If you want a safe flex, pay Montgomery. If not, play Evans. Which tight end should I consider starting this week in a 16-team league? I'm starting Juwan Johnson. Do you like anyone better than him? Well, you'd have to let me know who else is available. I don't love Juwan Johnson this week, but the Saints are without a lot of weapons. They're running out practice squad wide receivers, so he could have a halfway decent game. I wouldn't rule that out. All right. Just trying to answer all these questions. On Patreon as well. I've been super busy, so I haven't been checking it as much. So I do apologize, but we're gonna answer the questions on here too. Don't you worry, child. Naughty Otter. Shakir, Bateman, Watson, or Tyrone Tracy at the flex. If we don't end up seeing Devin Singletary suit up, it's clearly Tyrone Tracy. If Singletary suits up, it's gonna be Shakir. All right. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate you. Nicholas says 1 and 5, struggling at wide receiver. Have Love or Mahomes, need 3. Adams, Ayuk, Mooney, Juju, Demario Douglas. Yeah, so obviously when you play fantasy, every year, you're bound to eventually have a shit year, right? You're bound to eventually have the things not roll your way, regardless of how good you are at fantasy. That is going to happen every once in a while, especially if you're only playing in like one league, which is why I play in like four or five, because I think I'm good enough at it to where if I play in four or five leagues, I'm bound to just get more stuff right. But again, it does suck. Fantasy is a tough game. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of things that just go clearly wrong. So never feel bad if you have a bad season, honestly. Don't hold your head low or anything. You're 1-5. That doesn't mean your season's over. If you rip off a couple wins in a row, like people make the playoffs with shitty records all the time in fantasy. And again, just because you're the number one team in fantasy going into the playoffs also doesn't mean you're going to win. So struggling at wide receivers, you have Love or Mahomes. It's got to be Love. I mean, Mahomes has just been so terrible, man. He just has not played well at all in terms of fantasy football production. Like, sure, he looks fine out there. It's not like he's a disgrace to the game of football, but he also hasn't been good at all. So I probably would definitely have to lean with Love. And then you need three. It's got to be Ayuk, Juju, and Mooney. If Adams plays, you could play Adams over some of those guys, but I'm gonna go Ayuk, Mooney, and Juju. It is close with all those receivers, but it's definitely Love. I'm gonna go Mooney, Ayuk, and Juju. Frank, thank you for the super chat. Kirk, Bigsby, or Juju for the flex, Mahomes or Kyler Murray? Great question. With Mahomes, again, I just don't feel very confident in playing him. I'm just going to call a spade here. I'm going to be blatantly honest with you guys. I do not trust. I do not trust Patrick Mahomes. Now, again, it's not that Patrick Mahomes is a bad player. It's not that Patrick Mahomes can't lead the Chiefs to win a Super Bowl, but it's just as simple as he has not been good in fantasy football. He's fallen outside of the top 12 every single game. What is the real upside in playing him? So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and play Murray, even though Murray's been pretty up and down. One second, guys. All right, so yeah, I'm just kind of off of Mahomes. Like, I don't think anyone should be on Mahomes anyways, but I'm definitely off of Mahomes. So no Mahomes, and then we are going to go with Kirk, Bigsby, or Juju. I think I just have to go with Juju Smith-Schuster. I understand that Mahomes hasn't been playing well, and I don't want to like contradict myself, but Juju could easily get 8, 9, 10 targets in this game. So for that reason alone, it's got to be Juju. So Juju and Kyler. Hugo, thank you for the super chat. What's up, mate? Would you trade McLaurin and Kraft for Brock Bowers and Wandale? Other wide receivers are AJ Brown, Malik Neighbors, BTJ, Ladd, Leggett, zero running back build. I can tell. Your wide receiver core is stacked. That is tough because you're clearly upgrading at tight end, but losing out on wide receiver. Now, the fact that you have AJ Brown, Malik Neighbors, you'd have Wandale, BTJ, Ladd, and Leggett. I think you're going to be fine. Personally, I would be fine doing this trade. Kraft, I don't think is going to do it again like he did last week, like Kraft, or like he did those first couple of weeks of the season. One second, guys. So what I was going to say was I would be fine doing the trade, but it is close. It is a very close trade because Kraft does have the upside. We clearly saw the upside of Kraft. He could be a top 3 tight end. That's a Green Bay Packers offense that's loaded, that has a lot of upside. But Brock Bowers without Devontae Adams feels so much safer. I like McLaurin a ton, but I think I would do the trade just because I think Wandale's a very safe wide receiver. You're getting a return and you're getting rid of a very, very risky tight end and getting one of the safest tight ends in fantasy. So I would accept that trade. It is close, though. Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate that. Glad you're watching. Hope you're having a good time. Having a good time. Got a offer. I give McBride and get Deontay Johnson. Now that's a good trade because that's a fair trade, right? You could see how either of those could go the right way. Now, my question would be, Do you have any other tight ends? Right? Because if you don't have another tight end and you're going to have to be stuck streaming the tight end position, it's not going to be very fun for you, right? You're not going to have a fun time sitting every single day, fucking maneuvering from one tight end to the other, back and forth. It's a very stressful game. It is a very, 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 very stressful game at the tight end position this year. Much more stressful than years prior. Way more stressful. In past seasons, you could kind of just close your eyes, do a 360, and like pin the tail on the donkey and throw a tight end in your lineup and it would hit. Right? This season, not so much. Gun to the head, I probably would prefer to have the safety at the tight end position. So that would make me hold McBride. That would make me hold McBride. That would definitely make me hold McBride because, again, I don't want to play the tight end guessing game. It just doesn't feel fun. If you're willing to play the tight end guessing game, then do it. But I'm not willing to do that, so I'm keeping McBride. But it's a good trade. Thank you for the super chat. Pick two. PPR, Marvin Harrison Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, Pop Douglas, or Joshua Downs? Great question. If Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, I don't think you're able to kind of make a galaxy brain decision to sit him, right? I know Marvin Harrison Jr. has not been very consistent. Marvin Harrison Jr. basically kicked all of my teams directly in the gonads last week. But that's because I drafted him on every single team, and that's what happens. That's why we talk about all summer, don't draft the same player on every single team. And that's why, because if you draft the same guy on every single team and they go down and they have a shit season, you end up looking like a buffoon. I guess. So I would play if Marvin Harrison Jr. is playing, you have to play him, and then playing Juju. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is not playing, it's Juju and Pop Douglas. I like Pop Douglas's upside against the Jags. SGT stacking. What's up, Nick? Pick three wide receivers and one flex. Higgins, Smith, Mooney, Downs, Javonte Williams, and Mason. When Mason plays, you play Mason. That's another one of those where I understand that Mason has kind of reamed you in the behind. I fully understand that. It's frustrating that Mason got hurt, but at the end of the day, you can't do anything about it. When Mason plays, he's a top 12 running back in my rankings every single week. No ifs, ands, or buts. So I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you guys to sit him. So if he plays, you got to play him, and you got to play Higgins, and you got to play Devontae Smith, and you got to play Mooney. So it's going to be, I'm going to just type it out for you. Higgins, Smith, Mooney, Mason. Now, for some reason, Mason does not play. Then you enter into a scenario where you can't go back, right? Can't go back in time. Javonte has already played. So what you're going to do is just bite the bullet and play Josh Downs because Mason just as easily could play as he could not play, right? It's one of those that's kind of a true 50-50. We don't get a lot of those, but that is one of them. That is a true coin flip. If you said, Nick, he is 100% out or 100% in, I think that would be a stupid way of looking at things. So I'm going to play Mason and hope he plays. If he doesn't, then you can just flip to Downs. So it's going to be Higgins, Smith, Mooney, Mason. If Mason does not play, you pivot to Downs. Oh, you went camping, Spock. That's awesome. I used to go camping all the time. I was in the Boy Scouts. Shout out to my dad. He's probably watching. Thank you for the super chat, Sujiro. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. I've been saying this for years, but I am a notoriously bad with what is it called? Phonics? I don't know. I'd have to ask my fiance. She's a teacher, but like with pronouncing things, I'm just so bad at it. Half PPR, ESPN. Who do I start? Allen, And then you got Achan, JT, Mooney, Mason, Neighbors, Amari, Brian Thomas, Waddle, Ingram, Ferguson. Got Ingram in free agency. You need to drop one. Okay. Whew. Okay, so this is probably a 10-team league. If this is a 12-team league, you are absolutely slam dunking your league mates. If this is a 12-team league, your team is absolutely cracked. So, my thought process here instantly is Allen's going to be your quarterback. You don't have any other quarterback options, so you got to play London. You got to play Allen. Then we enter into a scenario where it's at running back. I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to play. So I'm going Monty and Mason because I don't think Jonathan Taylor is going to play. I would be shocked if Jonathan Taylor suited up. So we're going to go Mason and Monty. And if Mason doesn't play, then you play Achan. So we got that locked in. Then at wide receiver, it's going to be Neighbors. It is going to be Brian Thomas Jr. And then at tight end, it's got to be Ingram. So we're going to go Allen, Montgomery, Mason, Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., and then you're going to flex Amari, and then you're going to cut Waddle. I don't know how you could cut anyone else besides Waddle. So that's going to be who we're going to cut because you need the tight end, so you can't cut the tight end. So that's what we're going to go. Allen, Monty, Mason, Neighbors, Thomas. Oh, no, you know what? You just flex Achan. Flex Achan and then bench Waddle. Or cut Waddle. There we go. That's a fact, Tyron. That is a fact. No one in my league trades, so I need to drop 3 eventually as I have 3 IR spots. Okay. I'm going to eventually have to drop 3. Well, in my opinion, I think this Buccaneers backfield is going to turn into the biggest disgrace for fantasy football every single week. And what I mean by that is I think every single week it's going to be a random running back and you're never going to know which one to start. And it's going to make you go crazy because the game could start off with it being Bucky. Then it could go to Sean Tucker. And then magically by the end of the game, it's Rachaad White. Or maybe Rachaad White gets the hot hand and then you don't see any of the other guys. It's just a situation that I would try to be avoiding like the Black Plague. So if I'm being honest with you, Braylon's a cut, 100% getting rid of Braylon. Downs is a cut, 100% getting rid of Downs. And then it would probably be Bucky, just because, again, while I like Bucky Irving, and I think Bucky Irving's the most talented running back on that roster, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's guaranteed to be worth very much. Because, again, if they're going to go to a 3-headed backfield of death, which feels basically inevitable at this point, it makes not a single one of those guys a safe bet at all. I feel pretty confident in getting rid of Allen. I feel pretty confident in getting rid of Downs. It does hurt to get rid of Bucky, but I think that would be the answer. It'd be between Bucky and Moss, and that kind of just depends on when you have to make the cut, how both of those guys look. Thank you for the super chat. So if no one's going to make a trade with you, Braylon, I'm going to just order him. Braylon, full PPR, by the way. I answered your question correctly. If you guys don't say PPR, half PPR standard, I just assume it's full PPR. So Braylon would be the first to go. Second to go would be Downs. And then third to go would be between Moss / Bucky, whoever is seeing less touches / snaps. So just write that down at the time. My answer will be, I can guarantee you my answer will be the exact same. Unless unless Breece Hall's hurt or something like that, right? Unless there's an injury, the answer is going to be the exact same when you need to make these moves. Elber, thank you for the super chat. Hurts or Jaden Stormy Daniels? Saints or Jets defense? TIA. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, you guys love having 2 fucking quarterbacks that are both so good that it's impossible to make the correct decision. You guys just love doing that. It's been a tale as old as time. Now, you got lucky, right? You have 2 great quarterbacks. Some people don't even have a great quarterback, right? So you're sitting pretty. But again, another one of these scenarios where you're not going to be able to sleep when you get it wrong because you start Jaden Daniels and Hertz goes off. You're like, Nick, you fucking dumbass. And then you do the opposite. Nick, you dumbass, you got it wrong. So again, I know you're not actually thinking that, but it is very hard. It's something you're going to beat yourself up about if you get it wrong. With that said, my lean initially is just Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has been performing at a very consistent rate every single week of this season, and there's no reason to believe that he's going to magically become inconsistent. Now, it's not that Hurts is super inconsistent, but Jaden Daniels is just more consistent, and we're going to lean with the consistency. Plus, I like Jaden Daniels' matchup a little bit more. Then we have the Saints versus the Jets defense. That's basically a complete and utter coin flip. Gun to the head, though. We need this answer for tonight. I'm going with the Saints. If the Steelers, for some reason, play Justin Fields, you might feel now. For some reason, play Russell Wilson, you might feel stupid having benched the Jets because I think Russell Wilson is the wrong answer to that equation. But knowing what we know now, where it might just be a 50-50 split, my interest level lies with the Saints tonight going up against Bo Nix. Bo Nix has looked sneaky good. I'll give him credit, sneaky good, but I'm going Saints and I'm going with Jaden Stormy Daniels. Have fun, Tyron, with your workout. Don't hurt yourself. As if that was even a question. You're gonna be safe. And what's that, guys? The screen's gonna be black for half a second. I'm just updating the rankings on Patreon. If you guys are a part of the Patreon, $7.50 a month. I get all my rankings. You get an answer to every single question you may have. So make sure you guys check that out. It's only $7.50 a month. We might be running a sale soon because I figured out now you can do sale. So might run that, give it a nice discount for $1, even though it, even though anyone who's going to buy it for $7.50 probably would have bought it for $6.50. You get what I mean? But I do appreciate all you guys. I love you guys so much. So any support you guys show to the channel, even if you can't be a Patreon, even if you cannot super chat or anything, it means the world to me that you guys watch my content. It's truly amazing, and I don't want to get fucking emotional on here, but something that a couple years ago I would have thought was impossible. So I really love you guys. Patreon, Fryermuth, Patreon, Parkinson, Nick, you dumbass. Parkinson, Fryermuth, Otten, Conk, Likely, Henry. It's Henry. It's Henry the Tank Engine. I like Henry a ton this week. I like the fact that the quarterback play isn't dog shit anymore. So I'm going with Henry. Love Henry this week. Love Hunter Henry this week up against the Jags. What's that, guys? All right. Yeah, we're gonna go Hunter Henry 100%. Kraft or Ertz this week. I have Jaden Daniels. I guess that would move some of you towards playing Ertz, but personally, I'm just gonna lean with a guy that I feel more confident in, and that is Kraft. Like, I get Ertz is safer. Ertz is way safer, right? If you're gonna roll the dice on saying, Nick, who's more likely to get you 8 points? Probably Ertz, right? But Ertz isn't getting 18 points. Ertz isn't going to ever have a good enough good enough game for you to ever actually be ecstatic to have started him. So with that said, I'm just going to go with Kraft. Like, I'm just going to go with the guy that I think is a little bit more, sure, less sexy, nowhere near as sexy playing. Oh, what the fuck am I saying? I don't know. I was trying to reserve some DFS lineups because I said I wasn't going to play. And then I realized I don't want to watch the game if I don't have any money on it, which is embarrassing to say. I was going to watch it anyways because I have to make the videos. Obviously, we're talking about the game, but I'm going to go with Kraft. I just don't think you want to go anywhere but with Kraft. So we're going to go with Kraft. You just can't. You can't go a different way. It has to be Kraft. And then, yeah, it's gonna be Kraft. It's got to be Kraft. Pick 4: Saquon, Hall, Gibbs, Achane, Connor, Downs, Chubb. Now, how the fuck do you have that many good running backs? That's crazy. All right, so Anthony Richardson's gonna play. So what does that mean? What that means is that Downs is dead on arrival. Downs is floating down the river. They threw him in the river like it was the Salem witch trials. So I'm gonna go ahead and play Saquon, Hall, Gibbs, and Connor. I'm not messing with the Achane game until Tua comes back in this scenario. For a lot of you guys, you may have to start Achane. That's fine. That is fine. But in this scenario, you don't have to dance around with it. So you're going Saquon, Hall, Gibbs, and Connor. Those are your safest bets. They also have your highest amount of upside. What's up, Silver? How you doing, man? Uh, Royzy Killam says Connor plus Deontay for DK and Pollard. Okay, so the way I look at this trade, so the reason why I would stick with Connor and Deontay is because they're the much safer options weekly. Now, DK Metcalf is one of the most boom or bust wide receivers in fantasy football this season. And to me, it's not even up for debate. There are going to be games where DK Metcalf scores 27 fantasy points. There are going to be weeks where DK Metcalf scores 3 fantasy points or 4 fantasy points or 5 fantasy points. Deontay is going to get you 10 basically every time and has the upside to pop off. Connor, also a little bit safer, in my opinion, compared to Pollard, but that's kind of apples to apples. They're very close. So if you want the upside of DK, then go ahead and make the trade. But personally, I'd rather have Connor and Deontay. Jason, thank you for the super chat. Trade Jacobs and Smith for Brees. Reek, Lamb, MHJ, BTJ, Ladd, and Douglas, Gibbs, Achane, Tyron, and Brooks. Oh. If you could do Jacobs and Ladd or Jacobs and Douglas for Brees, it would be a much easier pill to swallow, in my opinion, for your team to get Brees. Now, Jacobs kind of just feels like we're in an infinite time loop with him, like it's Groundhog's Day every single week. And what I mean by that is every week it's the same shit. He gets all the touches, he gets all these dump offs, and it always seems like this is the week where he's going to get his beak wet. This is the week where he's going to score a touchdown. This is the week where finally all comes to fruition. And then you know what happens? It never does. You know what happens? It never ends up being the finish that you want. So while I would say if you could somehow finagle to get Smith out of there and trade a different wide receiver like Ladd or Douglas, I would feel a lot better. Or even Brian Thomas Jr., I'd feel a lot better with the trade. But ultimately, when push comes to shove, based on your running back core, I would do that trade. I would do that trade. Eddie J, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Nick. Do you like the Trailer Park Boys new movie coming out? Actually, I've never seen the Trailer Park Boys, but people have said in the comment section that I look like the guy with glasses on. His name's Bubbles, I think. No one's ever actually said that. That was just a fucking joke. But I've never seen the show. Apparently, it is really funny, but I've never seen it. Maybe I'll watch it in the off season because I really watch a lot of stuff during the football season. Friend of the channel, Rome, is on Survivor, so I do watch Survivor. And I need to watch The Penguin. But besides that, I haven't really been watching much. I just watch Entourage when I go to sleep. It's like one of my favorite shows. Hey, Nick, Standard League traded Pittman for Pitts W. Also, with JT out, who do I play? Goodson or Sermon? I also have Garendo, Ty also on waivers. Out of all those guys, I would rather play Ty Chandler if Aaron Jones misses. If not, I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and play Sermon. Pittman for Pitts is one of those where it's basically 50-50. So I'd be fine either way with either guys. Super Sticker, thank you for the super chat for us. I'm gonna check my phone in a minute and look at the what the super sticker looks like. And we're gonna go a little bit quicker because we're 10 minutes behind on the super chats. I don't want to be like that. Should I trade Kyron to get Gibbs and Pollard? I have Moss, Rashad White, and Pacheco on IR. Yes, I would do that. Now, Kyron is a mortal lock of the century, top 5 running back every single week. You don't even have to think about it, right? But most weeks, Gibbs and Pollard are both going to be flirting with top 12. And since your running back core has gotten plowed by injuries, since your running back core has been decimated by somewhat poor play, you almost have to accept that trade. Again, regardless on if I actually like the trade or not, like regardless of really anything, you basically just have to take the trade in the scenario that you are in, even if I didn't quote unquote like the trade, but I do like the trade. I love Gibbs. I love Pollard. That's a easy accept. Easy accept. What's up, Amy? How you doing? Just joined the Patreon because you made me 6-0. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Did you ask a question in there, Amy? Because I thought I saw you ask something, and then I was scrolling through the questions earlier, and I didn't see you. Maybe I'm blind, and maybe I did answer you, or maybe you just joined for funsies, and you didn't even ask a question. So I appreciate you regardless. Thank you. Should I play Josh Downs or Demario Douglas? I have the Vikings defense, but should I play the Steelers defense or grab a defense off the waivers? I'm just going to play the Vikings defense. This might sound absolutely insane, but there are defenses in fantasy football every year, and normally there's one or two of them that you basically just close your eyes and throw into your lineup every single week. Now, going up against the Lions, does it feel like, oh, I'm super smart playing the Vikings defense? No, it might not feel good at the time, but I think it is smart. I think the smart move is riding with the defense that is on fire, coming off the bye. They're gonna have a way to get to Goff. Goff struggles. He's on the struggle bus under pressure. Brian Flores is going to blitz the ever living shit out of him. So I expect the Vikings defense to be very, 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 very good this week. So I'm going with the Vikings. And then I have to go with Demario Douglas. Again, it's nothing against Josh Downs. If you were to say, Nick, who's a better player, Josh Downs or Demario Douglas? The answer would be Josh Downs. The problem with Josh Downs is that I don't trust him at all with Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson spreads the ball around like Oprah. You get the ball, you get the ball, you all get the ball. He misses wide open players, which just is not going to happen with cool Joe Flacco under center. But it's not going to be Flacco. It's Anthony Richardson. You have to lean with Demario Douglas, especially in a great spot up against the Jaguars defense. Bub Means getting 2 touchdowns tonight, maybe. Oh, I did answer. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Just so you know, if you haven't super chatted, I can still get to your questions. I'm just trying to get to all the super chats first. I have to watch it? Jeez. Maybe I've heard a lot of people say that Trailer Park Boys is good. I've literally never gawk. That's true, Spock. I've just never seen it. What's up, Nick? I was offered Tyreek and Dobbins from Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jacobs. Yes or no? Also, Demario Douglas or Michael Wilson at the flex. Seems like Monsieur Marvin Harrison Jr. might end up playing. The answer is Demario Douglas, regardless. That trade, I'm taking Tyreek and Dobbins. My assumption is that Tua plays next week. If Tua does not play next week, then I don't know. Like, again, I know he had a concussion, but I see no reason as to why he wouldn't play. I see zero reason. He was at some, I believe it was like a children's hospital drive today or yesterday. Took a bunch of pictures. He's a great guy. I love Tua. I hope he's okay, but I really do think he's coming back. And when he's back, Tyreek Hill is one of the top 5 undoubtedly receivers in fantasy football. If you think otherwise, you're crazy. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been very inconsistent. Jacobs has been very inconsistent. Dobbins, I think, is going to show a lot more consistency going forward. Tyreek's going to show more consistency going forward. The answer has to be to make the trade. Now, this week, it's going to hurt because Tyreek's not going to do diddly squat. But in terms of for the rest of the season, that's a trade you got to make. Shane Howard, thank you for the super chat, my man. Hey, GOAT, would you trade DK for Adam? Also, full trade I'm going to make is DK, Olave, and Kincaid for Adams and Jacobs. Okay. So 1-for-1 DK for Adams, I'm doing that. That full trade, I'm doing that as well. I'll be fine doing that as well. I don't think it's going to take very much time for Adams to get integrated into this offense. Adams has played with Rodgers for years. And I get, oh, he has to learn a new offense. He doesn't. You know what's going to happen? Rodgers is going to go out there and say, hey, buddy, run this route. Hey, cut the route off at the 20, inside the numbers, outside the numbers. Do this, do that. Use whatever fucking hand signals they have. And it's just going to work. It's going to work flawlessly. Now, will it instantly work this game against the Steelers? Maybe, maybe not. But it's going to work very quickly. He was never hurt. He was just, I want to trade. So, ow, my hamstring hurts. That's what happened. So, I feel very confident that when he plays, he's going to end up being like a top 12 receiver most weeks. Again, I'm not gawking the fucking Jets like a lot of people are saying I am in the comment section. Like, Nick, you have such high belief in the Jets. I never believe in the Jets. I hate the Jets. But I'd be fine doing both of those trades. I got Randy. I can get Jonathan Brooks cheap. Should I stash or no? Yes. I would be fine stashing him. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys about Jonathan Brooks. Before the season, I gave my praises to Chuba Hubbard. I told a lot of people to draft him. If you drafted him, you're happy right now. Now, eventually, Jonathan Brooks is going to take over, but it's going to be a slow roll. And what I mean by that is it's going to take multiple weeks for the second he suits up to actually play a severe enough role to where you want to start him. Why is that? For one, because Chuba looks good, and for two, because he's coming off of a serious injury, and I don't think they're going to think, oh, let's just fucking throw him out there to the wolves, right? They're not going to do that. They're going to slow roll him out there. Now, again, you can easily be a league winner that gets slow rolled out there. He could be the guy you need to win your league in week 17. He could be the reason why you hoist your fantasy football championship, but it's going to be slow. You are going to have to be patient. If you're not a patient person, don't pick him up. Why? Because if you're going to be panicking every single week, oh, should I cut him? This, that, the other thing. Should I play him? It's the same thing with Nick Chubb. If you can't hold Nick Chubb for way more weeks than him just coming back this week, and now you're thinking you got to play him, you need to hold. Hold. Okay. Cucker Craft or Mark Andrews? Craft. I feel you. Thanks. The move. Listening to Nikki, pick one. For me, Reed, Thomas, Worthy, Terry. It's Reed, and if Reed for some reason doesn't play, which he will, it's Terry. That's awesome. Would you drop either Ridley or Odunze for Demario Douglas? Need a wide receiver this week. I would drop Ridley for Douglas. Drop Ridley like he's hot. Ridley fucking sucks, guys. And I love Calvin Ridley. I love Calvin Ridley. Me and Calvin Ridley actually got into an interesting Twitter conversation a couple of like a year ago. I'm gonna try to pull it up because of how funny it was. you guys could see it. Does anyone know what his ad is? Me and Calvin Ridley. I said something about him, and he like took great offense to it. But I do love Calvin Ridley, so I didn't mean great offense to him. Okay. From Notorious FNTSY, Calvin Ridley. Did I tweet it at him? What was it? I'm going to screenshot it so I can put it on the screen. But we're going to answer the question here. Nick, 12-man league wide receiver to start out of these. I want to start 4. Drake London, Juju Smith-Schuster, St. Brown, Garrett, Worthy. In that exact order. You got the order correct. You want Drake London in there. You want Juju in there. You want St. Brown in there. And you want Garrett Wilson in there. I like Xavier Worthy. I think he's a talented player. But if he's just going to be a 3-target guy a week, what's the point? Right? What's the fucking point if he's just going to get 3 or 4 targets every week? Now, if he's getting 6 targets, then we should be getting down on our knees and giving him the Hawk 2 a special. But as of right now, he's not worthy of that. So, Worthy's not worthy of that. That's some great wordplay. B Rabbit. I'm going Drake London, Juju Smith-Schuster, Corvette, St. Brown, and Garrett Wilson. All right, we're going to put the tweet on the screen because it was so funny. So here, let me just get the question on the screen for half a second. And then this is stupid talking points. We're going to take it off the screen. So the Jaguars have asked FanDuel to reimburse them for some of, if not all of the $20 million in stolen proceeds a former employee lost on the site, but the company is unwilling to pay. And then I said, all Calvin really needs to do is cook up a parlay, and the Jaguars will get the 20 million back. And then he just said, Nick Lull. I thought that was really funny. Maybe none of you think that's funny, but I thought that was funny. It's also because I have a love affair for Calvin Ridley. If you guys have been watching for a really long time, you would know that I've been a Calvin Ridley truther off the jump. Off Jump Street 21, 22. Judy, Whittington, or Goodson in my flex. What's up, Kobe? That fucking sucks, dude. And it's not your fault. That's a question that hurts. It hurts. And I'm not making fun of you. It's Whittington for me. It's Whittington. What is Judy going to do for you realistically? He might get 8,000 targets. He's going to get 3 catches. He could get you 10 points, right? He gets you 10 points, and sure, that's fine, right? I'm not sleeping hard at night. Pause. It's not going to ruin my sleep if he gets me 10 fantasy points. But in all reality, what's the upside? What is the upside? It's just not very high. So I'm just going to go with Whittington. Even with cut back, Whittington could easily see 8+ targets. Again, I'm not hinging on Whittington having a huge game, but I feel a lot more comfortable saying that Whittington's going to blow up compared to the other guys. So we'll go with Whittington personally. Good night, Brian. Rodgers or Sam Darnold in my super flex. You have Garrett Wilson. I'm going mono man Sam. Like the spot up against the Lions. The Lions without Hutchinson are going to struggle bigly trying to pressure Sam Darnold. The pass rush is not going to be there. Sam Darnold's going to be able to cook in the pocket, and that's going to lead to a top 10 game. I like Rodgers, but against the Steelers defense, it's like, why even risk it, right? Like, why even risk it for the biscuit? Yeah, Marv may be out. Team is Kirk or Richardson for quarterback. Go Kirk. Barkley, Henry, Higgins, Debo, Achane, or Mooney for the flex. Debo. Nope. Higgins. Higgins for the flex. And the rest looks good. Spock, feel free to chime in. Drop Sutton to play any of these for the flex. Gun to the head, I think it's me. It's Bub Means tonight. So I'm going to drop Sutton, play Bub Means. Bub. I know that's right. Oh, Juju's on your bench? Still playing Higgins, though. Still playing Higgins. Oh, wait, hold up. You're asking Achane or Mooney for the flex or Juju? The answer is Juju then. See ya. A stack only really helps in DFS or best ball. No need to worry about stacks in season-long leagues. I agree and I disagree with that statement. I don't think you necessarily need. In all my redraft leagues, you're never going to see me go in there being like, oh, I need to stack. But I think a stack does help. It does definitely lower your floor because in certain games, right? If you have Goff and you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and they both shit the bed, you're fucked, right? But it also significantly ups your team's upside weekly, at least in my opinion. Again, this is something that is going to be debated for years, years on years. How much does it actually help? There's going to be math involved with that. There's going to be personal thoughts, right? Like, oh, I won my championship with a stack, so now I stack every time. Or, oh, I lost my championship because I had a stack and both guys shit the bed, so I never do it again. You know, there's a lot of anecdotal things in fantasy football. That's a lot of how people play fantasy football. Oh, this guy screwed me. I don't want to draft him anymore. Oh, this guy helped me win. I'm going to draft him a round in advance to make sure that I get him because I love him, this, that, and the other thing. So it's interesting. Fantasy is a very, very interesting game. And it's becoming much and much more math dependent as we've been playing for longer and longer. Which is good, but it also kind of ruins the fun sometimes. Especially like in DFS when you're just going up against a fucking supercomputer where everyone has the supercomputer. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I use the supercomputer as well, but if you're just someone that's just hand building lineups and stuff, it kind of does ruin the fun of it, if I'm being honest. I don't have time to hand build, so I'm a supercomputer guy. Who you picking at Nick? T-Law, Herbert, Jones, May, Dalton, or Knicks? Haha, safest. I'm going on May. Jaguars defense is ass. Tyreek or Deontay rest of the season? Tyreek. Tyreek. Now, again, when you have Tyreek, you also have to play the Tua drops back and your butthole is clinched the whole entire time. But Tyreek has so much more upside than Deontay Johnson. And he's also way safer than Deontay Johnson as long as Tua can stay healthy. Now, as a Dolphins fan, I witnessed that every single play of the game. I'm sitting there stressing out, making sure Tua's not hurt. And that's a very bad spot to be in as a fan where every single game is stressful. We could be up by 30 and I'm still stressing out like, oh, please just not take Tua out of this game. I don't want him to get hurt. Be ready for anybody who has concussion to miss the week after. Yeah, this season does feel like they are trying a lot harder to make it. Maybe this is just again, this is just my thought process. This is not fact. My thought process is this year it seems more like if you're not a quarterback, if you get a concussion, you're out for a game. Years past, a lot of the time, you get the concussion, you're back the next week. You get a concussion on Sunday, you're back in maybe on Sunday. Maybe if you have a game on Thursday, you're back Thursday, right? Whereas now it seems like they're being a lot more cautious, which makes sense. Player safety is obviously very important. So again, that's more, I don't know shit about fuck. Like, I don't know for sure, but that's my thought process. That's what Silver thinks. I agree with him. Thank you, Maurice. J Flow, start 2. Dobbins, Connor, or Gibbs? All right. It's so hard. Pause to sit Gibbs. It's so hard to sit Gibbs. But I think the answer here might involve sitting Gibbs. Even though it feels wrong. Even though it feels incredibly wrong, I think that might be the best answer. So let's look at my rankings real quick. I got Gibbs 17, Dobbins 15, Connor 20. Whew, so they're all close to each other. I hate Gibbs's matchup. I despise Gibbs's matchup. I think Gibbs and David Montgomery is also like a trap this week. You're still playing him, but he's a trap. I think I gotta go Gibbs and Dobbins though, because I know Gibbs is gonna get a lot of volume. I could see the Cardinals getting bent over a table and not being able to run. And even if the Lions are getting bent over a table, they're still dumping it off to Gibbs, where he's fine and he's keeping his head above water. So my best bet here would be to play Dobbins, and it would be to play Gibbs. It's very close though. It's a good question. But I'm gonna go with what my rankings say because that's what I believe. So we're gonna go with Dobbins and Gibbs. Is Tua for sure coming back? Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't. Everything I've read says he's coming back. Dave Harvey, thank you for the super chat. Goff or Murray, Reed or Tracy in the flex? It's got to be Reed over Tracy. We don't know if Singletary is going to play. Things are trending from what I've read towards Singletary playing. So if Singletary's playing, that basically kicks Tracy directly in the nuts and he's useless. Then, plus you were starting Reed anyways. Like, it wasn't even a question. You were playing Reed anyways. It doesn't matter if you're Singletary or not. You're playing Reed. And then Goff versus Murray. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray. I think if you want to be like, okay, I want a safe bet to be a top 18 quarterback, you would just play Goff. But Goff, like Kyler could be the quarterback 1. He could also be the quarterback 27, right? Goff's probably going to be the quarterback 20, the quarterback 18, 16, 12, in that type of range. So there's a lot bigger chance for Kyler Murray to end up as a big fat bust. But I would rather take that shot over just playing Goff against a Vikings defense that absolutely terrifies me. So I'm going to go ahead and lean with playing Murray over Goff. And then we're going to go with Reed over Tracy. I think I was a year too early on Kyler. And I've got Kyler on a lot of my teams. I think a lot of people are going to be scared to draft Kyler next year, and that'll be the year you want to draft Kyler. So let's go Kyler, and let's go Reed. Dog Water Gaming, thank you for the super chat. I'm running Bub Means tonight. I don't give a fuck. I have to play Bub Means in one of my leagues too. So I feel you on that, brother. All right. Question here says 3 wide receivers, Cup, Adams, AJ, Devontae Smith. 2 running backs, Tracy, Bucky, Aaron Jones, Tank. Bigsby. Great question. We are going to go ahead and go with if Cup plays, you're not sitting him. So it's going to be Cup, it's going to be AJ Brown, and it's going to be Devontae Smith. That's my answer. Cup, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Obviously, if Cup doesn't play, you're going to go Adams, AJ, Devontae Smith. Running back, you're going to go Tank Bigsby. And if Tracy's in, it's Tracy and Tank. Just write this down. I'm going to write it down for you. So, Cup, AJ, Devonta. Cup, no in, is not in, you play Adams. At running back, it's Tracy and Tank. If Tracy doesn't start, it's Bucky. There you go. I don't think Aaron Jones is going to play. I do not think Aaron Jones is going to play. That's what I've read. I don't think he's going to read. I don't think he's going to play. Kamara is a trap tonight. It sucks. Hopefully he can overcome. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have Kamara ranked as high. I know I didn't make the running back rankings video today, so I do apologize to you guys. Again, I've been super busy at work, my real job, and this is also, I guess, a real job too, right? You guys come out and watch all my videos, all these streams, so you guys mean the world to me, but I do have another job as well, so I've been super busy with that, and it's just led to the videos not coming out on time, so I do apologize. But Buffalo or Minnesota? Buffalo or Minnesota? Buffalo or Minnesota? Minnesota. Fucking video of Biden, you know what I'm talking about? Minnesota. I'm going. That one is so close. Like, it's basically a 50-50. I think I'd go with the Bills against Levis. But that one's very, 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 very close. But I'm going with Buffalo. You gotta go Hubbard. You gotta go Hubbard. I don't see a way that you could possibly sit Hubbard at this point in the season. I know Jonathan Brooks is going to come back, and that is eventually going to cut into his workload. But again, it feels to me like this is going to be a real slow roll. Like it's going to take a real long time if you're someone that has Jonathan Brooks to ever be able to actually competently start him and feel confident about it. And obviously, you can just start anyone, right? Like I give out advice all the time where it's like, oh, you just have to play someone, so you play him, right? But before you feel actually confident playing him. Saints or the Jets defense? I'm going with the Saints. Again, it's tough because we don't have a true quarterback situation for the Steelers. If you said, Nick, the Jets are going up against Russell Wilson 100%, I'm playing the Jets. If you said, Nick, Justin Fields 100% is the starter against the Jets, then I'm playing the Saints. But the problem is we don't have time to wait, right? We're stuck tonight making the decision because we can't wait until Sunday Night Football to make this decision because we got a defense that's playing right now. So what I would do is just play the Saints. Bo Nix can make bad decisions. We've seen it. He could throw the ball directly to the defense. He's been playing a lot better recently, but I still feel confident enough in the Saints. So I'm going to go with the Saints over the Jets. The Steelers might go with 2 quarterbacks. They might go with just one. They might rotate them in every drive. It's just a scenario where I'd rather just not guess because my guess right now is that it would be Russ, even though I think it should be Fields. So it's fucking stupid. It's like the team's basically grabbing us by the nutsack and dragging us around because they're not making a decision. And again, that's tactical because we have no idea who they're going to start. So that also means that the Jets have to prepare for 2 different defenses or 2 different quarterbacks. So, it's gamesmanship, but it sucks. But I'm going with the Saints after yapping for a million seconds on that. I got Aaron Jones and Jonathan Taylor as my running backs, both questionable. It looks like they will not play. I have Eckler, Javonte Williams, and Ty Chandler. Do I play Javonte in a good matchup or wait? I'm playing Javonte and Chandler. That's what I would do. Javonte and Chandler. Eckler is just really a safe guy. Like, oh, I want to get the RB 25, 26, 27. That's what Eckler's going to do for you. Eckler, with Brian Robinson healthy, is never going to go out there realistically, more than likely, and finish as top 12 back. I know Javante sucks. Like, he hasn't been great, but the matchup is good for him. So I do that. Bigsby or Brian Thomas Jr. If you want safe floor, I do think that Brian Thomas Jr. is a little bit safer, but I'm going to go with the higher upside play, and we're going to go ahead and go with Bigsby. What's up, legendary one? Colts or Vikings defense? I would go with the Vikings. Sutton or Mostert? That's one of those again where it's like it's really a coin flip. It feels like Achan's gonna play. Think I would just go. I think I'd go Sutton again. Neither of those are great and great options though. What's up, stud? Love the videos. Thank you. Wonder if you could help me out. Choose 3 wide receivers. Yeah, we're gonna go Douglas, Downs, and Shakir. Douglas, Downs, and Shakir. Hey bro, pick 2 wide receivers: Cup, Myers, Downs, Juju. Also, I could sit Mason for Najee. No, you would want to play Mason. You'd play Cup and Juju. Yeah, the Lions defense should be good against the Titans, but again, the Lions defense is injured, so they might not be able to hit that true upside. But again, any defense is good up against the Titans. The Titans are one of the biggest disaster I have ever seen take the fucking gridiron. Will Levis literally is terrible. I don't know how it's possible that he's that bad, but he is. He is a disaster. He is fun to watch because he's so bad. Like, which is funny to say, right? Like, he's a super fun quarterback to watch because he sucks so much ass. Pop Douglas or Downs? Pop Douglas. Someone drop Khalil Shakir in your league. He might be a great wide receiver too with Cooper as the number 1. I would probably hold who you have and hope Anthony Richardson gets a good rapport with Downs. That's what I would do. I'm not sure how interested I am in Shakir with Amari Cooper gobbling up a bunch of targets with Dalton Kincaid there, with James Cook. Like, again, I really like what am I doing here? I really like Khalil Shakir, but with Amari Cooper there, it's kind of the nail in the coffin in my opinion. This game should be like 10-9. Wouldn't surprise me. Got offered Gibbs for Neighbors in half PPR. My current wide receivers are. You need a better running back than Gibbs. I'll tell you that much. Whoever you think is going to be the best running back in fantasy, that's who you want. Neighbors, in my opinion, you could literally say Neighbors is the number 1 receiver in fantasy football, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I think Neighbors has a strong claim at least being top 3. Gibbs, I mean, yeah, he's top 12 probably, but he's closer to 12 than he is 1, whereas Neighbors is much closer to 1 than he is 12. And that leads me to wanting to play, wanting to trade Neighbors. All right, no, wanting to keep Neighbors. Thank you for the super chat, legendary one. I appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Just sent Brian Thomas for Marv. Thoughts? Love that. I would love to have Marvin Harrison Jr. on my team. Again, he has been up and down, but Jags might fire their coach. Things could change very drastically for the outlook of the Jags. Now, the Jags, again, they're not a great team, but things could change severely in half of a second if that was to occur. So I think that's a great trade. The greatest of trades, let me tell you. A great trade deal. Yeah, I like that trade. A lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. How much money you got? A lot. Yeah, a lot. What's up, Nick? What's up, Unknown? Rate my starting team. Kyler, AJ Brown. I like your team a lot. It's like a oh fuck, I don't have a tight end in this league. It's like a nice nice A minus. Need a flex, Nick. Josh Downs. Oh wait, 1 second. Need a flex. Josh Downs, Chase Brown, D Hop. It's Chase Brown. True, I just dropped Shakir due to Coop on my bench. That makes sense. Chase Brown or Tank Dell. Chase Brown. Cooper, Dobbins, Bigsby, Aaron Jones if he plays. If Aaron Jones plays, it's still going to be Connor and Dobbins. Sit one. Game starts soon. Dobbins, Kyron, Chuba, Kamara. I would have sat Dobbins, but it's close. That's a tough one. We bring the boom. That's what we do. All right. Thank you guys for all the super chats today. Thank you guys for stopping by the stream. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Trade targets for Devontae Adams at the running back position. Fantasy football running back rest of season rankings. Like I just need to. I don't actually need to use the actual rankings. I just want to see a bunch of names. Oh my god! All right, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, Joe Mixon, Pollard. That's kind of the range I'm looking at. You be cracking me up. Said Will Levis is Temu Josh Allen. He is, Charles. Watch. Oh, dude, I almost. Okay, I'm not even going to reveal what I was about to say. But what I was going to say is if you watch Will Levis play, he really is Temu Josh Allen. He tries to be like, he thinks he's Josh Allen. Like with some of the shit that he does, he must think he has the traits of Josh Allen because he plays like, if you guys remember Josh Allen's rookie year, he plays like a worse version of Josh Allen's rookie year. And if you go watch the highlights from his rookie year, you'll see what I mean. He really does look like that. Yeah, make sure you guys join the Discord. I appreciate that. Thank you, Spock. Sit one. Achane, Dobbins, Addison, Myers. I would sit Myers. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Is the best place to play fantasy sports. I agree. Promo code Notorious. Yes, sir. Tonight was Bo Nix was the free pick. I don't know what tomorrow is, but if you guys sign up for that, you'll get it. Watson, Downs, Johnson, Juju, Debo, all question mark. Okay. That's a good question. It's my shoulder. Are the Mets winning right now? Watson, Downs, Johnson, Juju, Debo, all question marks. Okay. Oh my. 1 second. I'm just trying to check something. I'm trying to see if the Mets game started yet. Yeah, that was supposed to start at 8. Hopefully we're not losing. That'll be a disaster, but I'm going to answer your question so you guys can get out of here. I love you guys all. Yeah, dude. He fucking Will Levis. You can read everything. You could probably read his mind. But it's going to be Deontay Johnson and Debo. If you want the safest bets, it's Johnson and Juju. Debo is so hit or miss, but it's Johnson and Debo. If not, it's if you want the safest bets, it's Johnson and Juju. Oh, right as I speak, fucking Vientos just hit a home run. 1-1 Mets. Tied with the Dodgers. All right. So let's go. Yeah, I'd play personally if it's my team, I'm playing Johnson. Let me just make sure something real quick. I just want to make sure because you paid. I want to make sure I get the question right. Yeah, I got Debo ranked 20. Oh fuck. You know what? My rankings, I moved Juju up a ton. I got Juju ranked way higher than consensus. I got Juju at 16. I got Debo 20. Deontay at 8. So it's gonna be Juju and Deontay. That's my answer to that. Are the Guardians are down 2-0, right, Caitlin? Let's see. I think so. Unless they're playing tonight though. Or maybe they already Yankees. Oh, the Yankees are winning 4-3 against the Guardians right now. Interesting. I think they do 44. Jason Poole. They're down 4-3. Feels bad. I would play JSN. Does T. Higgins have the most upside of any wide receiver too? Yeah, probably. If you're talking about like a wide receiver 2 in the NFL. Trade Deontay and Brown for K9. I think that's a little too heavy of a price in my opinion. All right, so thank you guys all so much for watching. The series is 0-2. That's what I thought. All right, thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm gonna go watch the Mets game. I'm gonna go watch this game, and hopefully close out of work. I love you guys all so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys did end up enjoying. I'll see you guys on Sunday with the live stream. We got to update the overlay though, real quick before we skedaddle. The overlay, our subscriber goal is still to hit 40,000 subscribers this season. The last time we streamed, which is on Sunday, we had 37,213 subscribers. And now we have 37,547 subscribers. So I appreciate all you guys, whether you're new, whether you've been here for the whole entire time or a year, half a year. Doesn't matter to me. I love you guys all. I really appreciate it. Peace out to everyone. Bo Nix out here running wild. I got to turn the game on. Yeah, you need something to cheer for. Hopefully the Browns bench Deshaun, but that's like never gonna happen. Let's be honest. They have to just eat the failure. So bye bye. See you guys on Sunday. Videos coming tomorrow.